This is DM Kurt, and our group has been playing Castles and Crusades for a bit. We've had two full length sessions, plus the session zero of introducing everyone to the game and rolling up characters and setting our ground rules. The story so far is that they are members of an orc tribe who tried to sell their tribe's crops, found that their contact had been murdered and robbed. They went and found out that, yeah, strange people from across the sea have come to our country, and the Prime Minister gave them basically permission to strip mine the grasslands. And they have strange weapons. They have strange vehicles, some of which actually propel themselves slowly. They are dwarves, whatever a dwarf is. So this orc tribe's like, I don't know what a dwarf is, but I don't like it, because I think they stole Johnny Redcoat's stuff. They stole all his silver he was going to give us. Well, yeah, they did, because the dwarves really don't care for the humans, half-orcs, and orcs of this land. They are jerks. You know, they think they're better than y'all, and they're going to go do what they're going to do. The party has returned home. They've fought a few creatures. They got ambushed by elves. My elves are jerks. They are the desert elves of Athos, essentially. They're tall, they're thin, they run like the wind, they live on banditry. And they tried to attack the party, which means they will be forever enemies of the party, because no one likes to be robbed. I gave the party a special magic item. An old man basically said, hey, I'm traveling this way, you're traveling the other way. Our paths have crossed. You guys are camping down for the night. You mind if I camp down with you? Safety numbers and all that before I head off my way? And they were like, yeah, sure, old man, sure. What do you know? What news do you bring? And he info dumped, some lore. And he gave them a gift. He's like, here. Throws them a copper ring with a broken arrow on it for an emblem. He's like, I don't know what, hey, I found this. Maybe you can, enjoy it. Here you go. Well, goodbye. So I gave one of the players, whichever player I felt had talked to the old man the most, a 3x5 card. And I said, it said, Hagar's broken arrow ring. Remind me of this ring if you use or are attacked by missile weapons. The player's like, what? Look, they have no wizard, no illusionist, no literacy. You don't know how to identify magic items. We do have a bard, but he failed to, get any kind of legend and lore, ability checks. So he doesn't know what it is. Never heard of this thing. They get into combat. The ranger shoots his bow. He says, oh, by the way, this card thing, what's this? I go, well, your shot, which you feel should have hit, misses. He's like, oh, man, I got a cursed item. No. So I throw him a second card. I trade the cards. And the card says, Hagar's broken arrow ring. In combat, all of your missile attacks will fail, but you're affected as per protection from normal missiles. If you are struck by a ballista bolt or a boulder, you are protected from that, but you'll roll a d6. You will also roll a d6 at the end of any combat in which, this magic was done. And on a roll of 6, the ring disappears. So I'm giving them protection. I'm giving somebody protection from normal missiles, but they can't use missiles either. And it is a temporary item because you will eventually roll that 6 on that d6. It's a fun little, unique thing. They decided to give it to their druid. I think that was a wise choice. They felt that the druid was the least armored and therefore the one in most need of protection. If they knew they were going to be attacked by elves, Maybe they should have given it to the ogre because he is a big target, a big problem of a target because the elves in this area have basically hunted the ogres almost to extinction for the meat. Yes, I said my elves are jerks. They have nothing to do with high elves or wood elves. They're their own desert elf thing. For XP, I've been giving out combat XP, of course. There is no milestone leveling in CNC because everybody has different XP charts for the different classes. Hey, it's 1E smoothed over. So combat XP, plus every time they have role playing, there's a little bump of XP with that. Every time there's some good problem solving or investigation, I mean, you guys are, whenever they're doing things, they're getting just these little tick, 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 tick marks of XP. And at the end of the game, I tally it up, and then I write up a little thing saying, hey, here's all the XP you got, and here's your new XP total. And everybody has the same XP total. What I'm noticing is that some of my players that were a little more reserved, I think they've come out of their shell and been more willing to role play a little more. So we have a couple of younger players kind of feeling a little shy in a room full of grown-ups so that they can assert themselves. They're asserting themselves. We have one player who I think has been kind of approaching the game more from a wargamer standpoint, and he wasn't really, I think he felt a little guarded about acting silly roleplay, and I think he's come out of his shell, so that's been cool. You, as a DM, you get the players that you get, and I've gotten good players, and I'm thankful for that. But you also get the kind of play that you reward is what you get. So by rewarding role play and combat and exploration and investigation, even though it may be only in little bites, well, you get all those things. Pretty happy about that. One of my players said, okay, I'm playing a fighter, but I want to scout the enemy camp. Now that they've decided the dwarves are their enemies. I know I'm big. I know I'm armored. I know I'm probably not going to be able to move silently in my armor, but I'm not going to go out there naked. I'm going to have my armor on because I'm a fighter. I should at least be able to hide if I move slow as a snail. I should at least be able to hide, especially if, and they want to make themselves basically camouflage, some ghillie suit kind of things. I should be able to at least hide. And I want to have these kind of skills to do military scouting. This player's a fan of the military. Okay, cool. Because of the way Castles and Crusades is built, it's not really easy to gain more skills. So for a fighter to gain these skills, I had to look at my options. What can I suggest? For move silently or hide or something like this, from a fighter standpoint, one option is you were a ranger the whole time. Just change your class over to ranger. I don't think he wants to do that. One option is multi-classing. You are a fighter/ranger or a fighter/rogue. The problem with multi-classing is you're leveling up as a first level fighter plus first level rogue, turning into a second level of each, turning into a third level of each, it's going to be slow. You're going to need the XP total of each class plus an extra like 200 to get second level, an extra 400 to get third level, etc. It just sucks. It's slow. That's not a way to go. They do have an interesting thing called class and a half, where you have a primary class and a secondary class. And when you level up, you're going to be a first level this, then a second level that, then a third level that. So you'll end up as a third level fighter rogue, and then a fourth level fighter rogue. Whereas you're majoring in one thing and minoring in the other. The XP suck for that is going to be you need the fighter XP plus half the rogue XP. So that's only like 1 1/3. Your rogue skills, you'll get almost all of them, or all. No, I think all of them. They will operate as if they're one level less. So you're a third level fighter with the class abilities of a second level rogue. You're a 9th level fighter with the class abilities of an 8th level rogue. And according to the rules, they want you to have, as a fighter, primary strength, and for a rogue, primary dex. So your primary attributes have already been chosen for you. That's one way. The others just simply stay as a fighter, and then have dexterity as a primary ability score. Moving, you're not supposed to be able to use other classes' class abilities, but I think everybody should be able to move relatively quietly if they try hard. All of the class abilities are attribute checks. So to move in a not so loud fashion, it would be a dexterity ability check. And if you have a high dex, which this guy's character has, and you make dexterity one of your 2 primary attributes, that's a +6. Whatever his dex is, I think he has a +2, so that's +8. D20 +8, you should be able to get some decent numbers on that. I'd call it good enough. And then you can kind of say, hey, I don't have those skills written on my sheet, but I'm role-playing that I am trying to move quietly. I'm kind of making some claims of my background being this, and I'm kind of role-play expressing that, yeah, I can move quietly when I want to. I'm surprisingly sneaky for a big guy. And like, yeah, you're still just a straight fighter, but we could play it out that way. I don't know. I mean, we're going to talk this out. He wants to do something other than, hey, I'm a fighter. I walk around, I clank, and I hit things. He wants to do more. And we're kind of straining against the rules to do that, but I think we can do it. I'm pretty happy with the game so far, and I'm happy with my players. Anyway, that's just kind of how things are going with our Castles and Crusades. DM Kurt, out.